If you ever talk about my mother, I'll put your head through that wall. Secondly, I'll have this job done while you're still putting on your baby oil. Good luck, Slick.
Jason Statham didn't become Hollywood's toughest man because of special effects or movie magic. His danger was built long before the cameras ever rolled, in real arenas, real streets, and real fights. But here's what almost no one realizes. The most dangerous thing about Jason Statham isn't his stunts, his fighting skills, or the franchises he carries. It's the brutal, real-life truth that he's the only action star in Hollywood who actually became more dangerous before he ever became a movie star. Most actors pretend to be tough. Jason Statham lived it. And the reason he rose so fast, so violently, and so unapologetically is because his entire life prepared him to become the most dangerous man in Hollywood. Jason Statham has never been the product of Hollywood sculpting. He wasn't manufactured the way the industry builds new action stars today. He wasn't polished, molded, or branded. He arrived already forged, already sharpened, already dangerous. Born in the coal-dust-darkened town of Shirebrook, Derbyshire, he grew up in a world where pain wasn't an obstacle. It was the background noise of everyday life. His father worked odd jobs, often struggling to make ends meet, while his mother pushed him toward discipline, sport, and survival. Everything in Jason's early environment demanded resilience. As a kid, Jason didn't just dip his toes into athletics, he drowned himself in discipline. He became obsessed with sports, football, boxing, martial arts. He tried everything that tested pain tolerance and body control. But it was diving that swallowed him whole. What most people don't realize is how brutal competitive diving actually is. It's not the graceful Olympic highlight reel the world sees once every 4 years. It's hours of smashing your body into the water at 30 miles per hour. It's hitting the board. It's tearing shoulders. It's dislocating fingers. It's perfection or punishment. For 12 straight years, Jason wasn't acting tough. He was landing headfirst into the elements and forcing his body to obey. He trained with the British national diving team through the late 80s and early 90s, often practicing 5 to 7 hours a day. He learned spatial awareness, aerial control, and, most importantly, fear management. The water shows no mercy. A wrong angle can split your skin open. A wrong rotation can knock you unconscious. Jason mastered danger long before he ever mastered lines. He traveled the world with the team, competed in the Commonwealth Games, and lived the life of an athlete constantly on the edge of injury. Coaches and teammates remember him as someone who pushed harder because he had more to lose. Unlike many of the divers who came from comfortable families, Jason had no safety net. If he failed in sport, there was nothing waiting for him except the life he already knew: working-class struggle. But as many athletes discover, success doesn't always pay the bills. When diving couldn't support him financially, he went where many desperate young men do: the streets. While training, Jason started selling fake perfumes, cheap jewelry, and knockoff watches in London street markets.
Say, here, one price, £10.
Did you say £10?
Are you deaf?
That's a bargain, I'll take one.
This wasn't a side hustle, it was survival. And it taught him something no acting school ever could: persuasion, strategy, reading people, spotting danger. He learned to negotiate with tourists, outwit suspicious police officers, and sense aggression before it erupted. On the streets, he wasn't Jason Statham, the future icon. He was just a hustler trying to keep the lights on. But it was that life, the hustler life, that created the first spark toward Hollywood. Because one day, fate walked straight toward Jason in the form of a director who was hunting for authenticity, not actors pretending to be rough. Guy Ritchie, preparing his low-budget crime film Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, needed real street energy, real tension, real danger. His team didn't scour drama schools. They walked through London markets looking for someone who looked like they actually lived the life. And there was Jason, carved from granite and poverty, with a voice that could sell a watch or start a fight. Ritchie tested him on the spot. Not with lines, not with a script, with improvisation, with pressure, with tension. He wanted to see if Jason could lie like a hustler, persuade like a hustler, and intimidate like a hustler. And Jason didn't perform, he behaved. It landed him his first movie role. No acting background, no training, just raw presence. The film became a cult classic, and Jason Statham was suddenly on Hollywood's radar, but still far from the legend he'd become. What came next wasn't luck, it was evolution. With every film, Snatch, Mean Machine, The One, he was shedding the identity of a street seller and becoming something more controlled, more calculated, more dangerous. But it was the transporter that changed everything. Suddenly, Jason wasn't part of an ensemble. He was the weapon at the center of the story. And the stunts in that movie were not Hollywood illusions. Jason insisted on doing nearly everything himself. Fight scenes, chases, precision driving, underwater sequences. Most actors negotiate. Jason volunteers. His diving background made him fearless around water, and his martial arts training gave him the fluidity to become a human projectile. On set, stunt coordinators quickly learned something unnerving. Jason wasn't pushing himself to look good, he was pushing himself to feel alive. And that made him unpredictable in the best possible way. Directors love him. Insurance companies fear him. His reputation wasn't built on attitude, it was built on incidents. The first major one happened on the set of Expendables 3, a stunt gone wrong. A truck, a massive multi-ton stunt vehicle, malfunctioned and rolled straight off a dock into the ocean, with Jason still inside.
The truck hits the water just slams me back, and we just like sinking fast, straight to the bottom. 60 feet at the bottom of the Black Sea.
For most actors, this would be a death sentence. Nobody survives being trapped in a sinking truck. But Jason Statham had spent a decade of his life training underwater as a competitive diver. He kept calm. He controlled his breathing. He escaped through the back window and swam to the surface. Crew members were in shock. Stallone later said, Jason would have died if he couldn't swim.
Because of his aquatic skills, he's the only one who would have made it. None of us can swim that well.
That wasn't Hollywood myth. That was real. Another incident happened during a fight scene in an earlier film. An extra threw a real punch, off choreography, hoping to see if Statham was really tough. Jason dropped him instantly, then walked away as if brushing off a fly. Word spread quickly. Jason didn't need protection, you needed protection from Jason. Behind the scenes, stunt performers talk about the Statham standard. If Jason is doing 90% of his own stunts, every other actor has to raise their game, or risk looking like a fraud next to him. He finishes rehearsals others can barely complete. He trains when cameras stop rolling. He studies martial arts with the same intensity he once trained for national championships. Even in his 50s, he does conditioning sessions most athletes half his age can't complete. Hollywood noticed something else, too. Jason Statham is one of the only modern action stars whose characters feel believable because he is believable. Nothing about him is manufactured. When he throws a punch, you believe it. When he dives off a bridge, you believe it. When he stares down a villain with those cold, unblinking eyes, you believe it. Because it's not acting. It's experience. But here's the twist. The real danger of Jason Statham isn't the stunts. It isn't the fights. It isn't the muscles or the martial arts. The real danger is the truth that Hollywood has been forced to admit. Jason Statham didn't become a movie star by learning to be dangerous. He became a movie star because he already was. From a child shaped by the grit of a working-class town, to an elite diver who trained his body to execute precision under pain, to a London street hustler surviving on charm and danger, to an actor who nearly drowned on set but escaped because of skills he learned decades earlier, to a Hollywood legend who raised the bar for stunt work in the modern age. Jason Statham is not a performance. He is a product of pressure, pain, discipline, instinct, and survival. And that, not the fame, not the roles, not the franchises, is what makes Jason Statham the most dangerous man in Hollywood.